I have my sleeves and my body knit of this bottom-up sweater, this bottom-up yoke sweater, and I'm about to attach the sleeves to the sweater. So here I'm at the beginning of my round in the back. I have a space here and a space here for the underarms. So there are two spots where I have a gap of stitches. That is where I'll be inserting the sleeves. So my sleeves happen to be on a spare circular needle. I find that's the easiest way to hold them. Here I am at a gap. What I'm going to do is lay my first sleeve on top of the sweater so that the right side is facing me and the sleeve is facing out. I've dropped the needle out of my left hand and I've picked up the needle that the sleeve is sitting on and put that in my left hand. And with the needle that I had been knitting with already for the sweater in my right hand, I am knitting across those sleeve stitches, thereby attaching the sleeve to the stitches that were to the right of that underarm gap. I've finished knitting across that first sleeve, so I'm going to move the other sleeve away. Now I pick up that needle that I had set down before, and I'm going to begin knitting the stitches that are on the left of that gap. And you can pull a little tightly when you do that if you want to avoid any large spaces between the sleeve and the body. But the idea is that you are connecting all of these pieces into one continuous loop. So I'm knitting across now the stitches that happen to be for the front of my sweater here until I get to the very next gap. When I get to that gap, that is where I will be, right there, attaching the sleeve. So I have a couple more stitches and then I'll attach the second sleeve. And here again, I'm going to drop the needle that was in the left hand, or set it down, place my sleeve stitches on top of the outside of the sweater with the right side facing, slide the stitches up to the tip of that spare needle, and begin knitting across those stitches with the needle that had already been in my right hand and the yarn that I had been using as well. So it's one yarn that's knitting all of this together to join it in the round. So here I am going across the sleeve. Once you've finished the sleeve, you can move that holder or needle out of the way and then pick up your working needle again. So here we go. And now in my case, I'm knitting to the center of the back of the sweater. That's where my beginning of round is. And I will have connected the entire sweater, the sleeves to the body, and I can now begin the yoke of the sweater as per pattern. Happy knitting!